What's going on YouTube, man? So in this video, we're going to talk about the difference between the mindset of being an E1 and being an E6. Let's get into the video. Okay, I'm going to be honest with you, man. As an E1, I didn't understand nothing. I didn't understand how a bank account worked for real, right? So I thought everything was like happening for no reason. So like I joined the military, we went straight to boot camp. I'm like, why are they yelling at us? Why are we exercising? Why do I have to go run? Why do I have to march? Why do I have to sing? Why do I have to do laundry? Why do I have to be in charge of a watch bill? What is a watch bill? Like, look, man, a lot of the stuff that we was going through as E1s, it was like just out of lack of understanding that we thought things were hard, especially me, man. I thought like, why do I have to do all of this work? You know what I'm saying? And y'all are just sitting on y'all tails. Like I thought the E6 and above was just like not doing anything. And that was just perspective, right? Because outside looking in as a E1 and you doing all the physical and manual labor, you think everybody is kind of like doing nothing around you, right? And so like as an E1, I just thought about self. I didn't think about nobody else. I just thought about how I was feeling at the time. I was like, man, I'm tired of this rack. Like I was on the ship, right? So I was tired of this rack. I'm tired of sleeping in this room with 100 other men. I'm tired of going to this little corner that we have a TV and a couch, and I never have no place to sit. I got to sit on the floor. You know what I'm saying? Nobody talks to you nice. Like you got to earn your respect, literally. And so like when you're all on the same level, it's like gladiator school a little bit. You know what I'm saying? You might get into a little wrestling matches. You know what I'm saying? You might even get into a couple fist fights, but you'll come out. And like you'll come out better than you came in. Like you gotta understand that everything is a process. And as an E1, I didn't understand none of those processes. I didn't understand why things were happening. And like even worse, I was blaming people for being in that position that I'm in. It's kind of like you don't really take accountability yet. Like you still learning accountability, responsibility, being punctual, being on time, and like doing your job to the best of your abilities. You're still learning dedication. You're still learning communication. And that's another thing too, man. As an E1 and an E6, your communication has to get better. Like if it doesn't change, then you just kind of like, you will definitely remain the same. Like if you ever seen somebody was like, well, that's just how I am. That type of attitude would not get you anywhere. Like that's just how I am, bro. You got to change. Like if I seen women do it, I seen men do it. Don't think it's just gender related. No, it's attitude related. Like communication has to be good in order for you to get what you want and get what you need. Because not everybody's going to take what you said, you know what I'm saying, the same way. Like you're not going to be perceived the same way to anybody. And as an E1, I didn't care about that. I didn't care about how anybody perceived me. I just cared about how I felt. Like if you in the Navy or you in the Army, in the Marines, whatever the case may be, you see the different patterns. Like as an E6, you know what I'm saying, you're literally going to go ahead and just say, okay, you guys see me all the time, and then I'm going to go ahead and show you what it's supposed to look like how this uniform is supposed to get worn. You know what I'm saying? As an E1, you don't care how your uniform is worn. I promise you. Like, man, I was walking around like blouse untucked, like I was trying to do a whole bunch of shortcuts, like my boots won't be tied properly, or sometimes my boots won't even be tied at all. Like I just didn't care. So as an E1 and E6, like that caring and that understanding is so different. Like it's a real big gap now. It's a big gap. Another thing I didn't understand was maintenance, man. I didn't understand my role. As an E1, you don't understand your role in everything. Like if somebody says go clean this weapons elevator, and you like, why I gotta clean this weapons elevator? I'm working hard, but you not working. But a lot of the E1s don't understand they're doing literally some of the most important jobs. Yes, administration is important, and yes, management is important, but actually getting your hands dirty and doing the job teaches you a couple things. The first thing it's going to teach you is, like, when it's time for war, your job and how well you did your job is direct reflection on how the ship operates. Like a lot of people don't look at it that way. Like if you're working on a weapons elevator, this is where, and we put the missiles, this is where we put the missiles and how we get the missiles to go ahead and fight wars, right? So if you do your job properly, that means we could get the weapons on the elevator, put it up to the flight deck. The flight deck people could get it to the jet could launch off, and then the maintenance you did on the jet is going to be a direct reflection on how that jet operates, and then go ahead and complete that mission. Like it's a puzzle piece, right? And big scheme of things, we don't necessarily get to see big scheme of things as E1s, and you barely see it as an E6. I'm gonna be honest with you. As an E6, you kind of like, you start to get into those meetings, and you start to understand like, okay, this is why we do things, this is how things get done. But like operational wise, you don't really get to see that until like you're a big wig, like you like 02, 03, 04, and now you in the big business meetings with the big dogs, and like you talking to admirals and stuff like that, and the admirals are telling you globally why things are getting done and how we getting done. So we just talking about the maintenance surface level, man. As an E1, you don't see none of that. You don't see none of that. So like your whole mindset is me, and mine. And as an E6, you start to look at it like, man, there's more to this than I thought it was going to be. And so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to step my game up a little bit. All right, then overall caring. Like as an E1, man, you don't care much about nothing because you don't know nothing, right? So like if somebody says, man, you need to study and get your qualifications, you need to learn how to shoot this gun, you need to go ahead and go to this class, you need to go to that class, you need to go to financial literacy, like you need to go to house hunting, you need to understand how house hunting works. Like as an E1, you think it's all busy work, but as an E6, you see that foundation that you got as an E1 and the type of mentors that you had as an E1 is going to be a direct reflection on how good you are as an E6, only because now you get to look back and help somebody else. Now, if you didn't go through those struggles, those trials, those tribulations, then how can you really help somebody, right? Because then you're going to see sailors that's an E1 or soldiers, that's what y'all call them in the Army. You're going to see the soldiers down there like asking for help. And then like, dang, you can't really help them because you didn't go through that process. So the process is very important, man. Joining the military at E1 or O1, that process is very important. I see a lot of young officers, they come in with the same mindset as an E1 comes in. The only difference is a college degree and maybe a couple years. But that maturity curve still has to be there no matter where you are, no matter what you do. So I'll just say, man, stay humble, stay hungry, and keep going, bro, because it does get better. Like, I didn't think it got better. It took me about 9 to 10 years for things to get better, and it will get better. So if you already in the system, like this channel is pretty much based off of those people who's in the system right now. So if you're in the system of being in the military and you feel like it's not getting better, just do what you got to do and keep going, man. Persevere. You got to persevere, push through. You know what I'm saying? 20 years isn't easy. I make 11 years this year, and we just going to keep going, man. Appreciate you guys checking out the video, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.